that every man, every lineage, every group of people should, the default should be the advancements and the explorations of military upgrade to defend for prosperity of the land, because the reality involves, the undeniable reality involves violence, because man is imbalance, and most certainly is not truly in control of his emotions. And these emotions of greed, of unjust accomplishments, if you want to say so. However, the amusing reality of the world today is that the group of man that is now referred to, that I refer to as the pale people, however, their government has identified himself and his people as white people. If we are to observe these footsteps of the establishment that is representing the so-called white people, we will see that it is contradictory to the information that is being given, that is being injected, that is being imprisoned in the people's mind. Because the white man's all white man's society, all white man's society, and any society that the white man has invaded and embed himself in that society by rape, genetically wise, raping, and financially wise, changing the system, education, and the so-called religion. All these are important aspects of dominance. If we are to observe that all this, I'm to use the word accomplishments, for there is no inferiority complex. The one that is aware should not desire, should not embed, should not allow an absolute infantile emotions as inferiority complex towards a fool. For he is a fool. Why should you feel insecure? Why should you desire any accomplishment of a fool? No, Awuzubillah. I desire no inferiority. I embed no inferiority complex to the so-called lineage of the so-called white people. So with that being said, what they have accomplished is to be a successful accomplishment that the action of the so-called representative of the so-called white man, the white people of the earth today, is different from that to which the words to which they are describing themselves, the words that they are imprisoning the people's mind. The white man accomplishment of the earth today in this recent so-called, from whatever the 19s on their calendar, on their tools of measuring time, from whenever that is to now, there is no denial that the accomplishment, the success of the so-called white man, the white people collectively, I'm speaking collectively now, has been through violence. Violence, deception, deception to the utmost degree, deception to the utmost degree, spying to the utmost degree. These are the tools, these are the most useful tools of the so-called white man's establishment. Fascinating is that within the information that the white man has been, within the information the white man establishment wants to imprison people by, there is a very, very important information we should point out. And that information is that anywhere on the earth you go today, anywhere, any society of white, so-called white people, or mixed lineage people, these are people that carry the lineage, the DNA of the so-called white man and the dark-skinned man. It does not have to be my dark skin. It might be the dark-skinned man of the Indian continent, or the dark-skinned man in the Australian, or in the Aboriginist, or the dark-skinned man in the Aztec, the Mayan, that part of the earth now referred to as South America. The mixed lineage man and the so-called white man. In all this society, and the society of the so-called the northern parts of the land of the dark skin, the continent that is now referred to as Africa, the northern part of the people, these people that are calling themselves Arabs, these people are a byproduct of the invasion, of the successful invasion and the occupied and the humiliation of the dark-skinned people that was there. And the so-called people that are now referring to themselves as Arabs, these are the byproduct of that oppression, of that invasion and oppression. It happens. I am not one. I am not a morally. For the reality is, do not impose. Just because you are moral, don't think the other man is moral. It's a free world. Every man has the freedom to be moral, if he wants to act morally, or he does not want to act or he wants to act immorally. It will be a fool, and it will be unjust to myself to think, to expect morality conduct from other man. That will be unjust. You will get stabbed in the back, or rather, you'll be fucking hanged. So do not expect moral conduct. Rather, take your precaution. However, with that being said, though, the information that is coming out from all these societies that the white man, the so-called white man, the white man establishment, has forced himself genetically. There's an important information that is coming out, to which is that the dark-skinned man is incapable of doing anything, that he has achieved nothing good. He hasn't established himself in the land to be able to erect a society that is unequal to any. Fascinating, because the majority of people on the earth are of so-called dark-skinned people. And the majority of fascinating structures that the mind is unable to explain is found in this society that majority are so-called dark-skinned people.